Go.
All right, Justin with Bourbon Banter, Evans on location at Kevin's house. Thank you very much for letting us come in. We have decided to set this up just in case this works. They have challenged me to figuring out an ABC blind with a couple of laser codes from some Taylor single barrels. So we have L21, L22, and a little bit L23. Some were dot matrix, some were not. We've talked about that before in some of our previous videos. That being said, we're gonna set up this lovely flight of the Taylor single barrels, and I appreciate that, guys, very much. We have some people in the background. Feel free to chime in if you have any questions or so on and so forth when we go through this. I'm gonna treat this like I would do a barrel pick. So for those of you that have seen the videos in the past, this barrel pick is going to be like, we're going to pick which of these I prefer at that moment. Now, I've all had these in the past. Everybody knows that. We all know that L21 was the winner of what we thought at the time. We've had them blind. We've had them, you know, we knew what they were, so on and so forth. But this time we're going to have them side by side in a blind situation to see which one of these three at this moment is actually the better tasting one. Now, I was graciously Uncut Unfiltered, Bourbon Banter Evans. Please like, subscribe, hit the follow button, all that fun things that Charles normally says. He's out of town, so we decided to do this video. Given this cigar prior, it's a great cigar. Thank you very much. This could be the difference maker as far as what this bourbon actually tastes like now, having had a little bit of cigar. We also would like to do a cheers to this water glass that was given to me to help in between. I was told that I had to make sure that the water glass was in there. So that being said, I will start off with everything that I always do, and at least I think I do. Cheers, what's in your glass? So we will go through the nosing process, we'll go through the 3-sip process, I'll go through the lightning round, and then we'll do this as quick as we can to figure out what A, B, and C is in the better situation for Taylor Single Barrel. Here we go. Now we've said this multiple times. Nosing, there's two different noses. So obviously there's left and right. So your brain reads crosswise. So if you go left and right, we've said that before. So I'm gonna do that, which you guys have all seen before. Now right off the rip, A actually has a little bit more nose to it, a little bit more, I guess, almost if you want to say it's more effervescence. So if you want to call it that, it's more bright. 3 is more flat, so C, not 3, C is more flat on the nose, and everybody knows that has ever done a barrel pick with me, I really love the flat nose. That tends to have some of the better bourbons, if you want to call it that, or whiskeys when you're doing a barrel pick. Yeah, I'll take the nose on that all day. Again, this was a video that was done not at will. I'm actually being held hostage. If anybody could help me in Bourbon,
can you put the newspaper up?
In Bourbon hostage, please come find me and help me out. And shout out to whoever poured these. I'll do this real quick, just to show you that these are perfect pours and not Keenan pours. Look at that. As it balances perfect on the table, if you want to get an extra ½ ounce for free, tell the bartender you want a perfect pour of 1.5 ounces. We know it's actually 2 ounces. You know what sucks about this? All of it's Taylor and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's drinking after you, so you get to finish all those.
Well, I know what I'm doing the rest of the evening.
Caleb, you taking him home?
I'll take some home.
No, you taking him home.
Oh yeah, I'll take him home.
Hey, I was dropped off. So. Again, like and subscribe. Thank you guys for joining in to Bourbon Banter Evans. This is a possible video that will be posted. We don't know until after we look at the editing and send it to Charles.
Who's your sponsor for your water?
Newsom Shear.
That in-between sip is sponsored by...
Newsom Shear House.
I think it's an attorney. Man, okay, this is actually pretty difficult. So I actually think this is a really good idea. Have a couple of pours, nothing major, then have a cigar, and then do a three-step uncut, unfiltered process in between this and try to decipher what.
So we have a new process for Bourbon Banter Evans.
It's
moving forward.
It's difficult because your palate isn't quite. It's not raw. You know what I mean?
So I am again doing this like a barrel pick, to the best that I can figure out what I like at this exact moment in these glasses, versus trying to figure out what they are. trying to decipher if it's this year, or this year. Now I have an idea. I've got a pretty big walking bank as far as what the L codes taste like in the single barrel zones as far as Taylor goes. Not to say that most people do that. That's probably a little bit nerdy. But at this moment, between A and B, I've got an idea. Now let's hit C up. Again, cheers.
Which is the one that was flatter for you.
Yes.
So.
Oh man, still that nose. Cheers again, and what's in your glass? It's so different doing a single video, and I'm used to going like this. So Charles, he's not here. This is why it's probably not going to make the.
Or it might.
Moments ago, we witnessed the first Keenan pour without Keenan being here. Hashtag Keenan pour. We took photos of it, so stay tuned to Bourbon Banter Evans to see if we actually post that.
I love a Keenan pour.
Yes, the Keenan pour, is massive.
Wives do not like Keenan pours.
It is posted on Bourbon.
It's live posted on Bourbon Banter Evans. Check out this new Keenan pour from a newbie, and newbie being in the best situation
Keenan's
possible.
a newbie?
No, the 21-year-old that poured it.
He poured a Jack pour.
His dad said, "Hey, pour me some," and he.
I don't even know what that is. What's a Keenan pour? That's this guy
That's his
over
normal
here.
pour, all right?
He's like, I've seen him pour stuff before. I got this. Next thing you know, 5 or 6 ounces later in a Glencairn.
Yeah, Dad's hammered.
There we go. Everyone's hammered at that point.
Again, this is super cool. We've got a great background, great house. Kevin, thank you again. We got a pool in the background. Supposedly, they wanted me to swim up and do this. Thankfully not. Nobody wants to see me swim or drown.
Yeah, both. I have an idea, but
And just based off of prior trying these and having these in my past and then trying to bank them in my head, I have an idea of what I think they are. Now that could hurt me and it could also help me depending on what it is, but at the same time trying to stay true to actually picking what the best is at the moment as if you're doing a barrel pick. So this is again L21, 22, and 23 versus themselves, not 21, 22 based off of what I just pointed at. This is A, B, and C. They know what it is. I don't know what it is. This is definitely the blind. So the question is when I pick, is this going to be revealed as far as what it is? Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
so wait, repeat that. What do you think is the
We haven't gotten there yet.
1, 2, and 3?
We haven't gotten there yet.
He's got to go through
rushing.
the whole.
I'm sorry. I thought he said something.
He pointed,
I
but
pointed as an example of 1, 2, and 3.
Oh.
it's a good
So
thing he
far,
has
which
that.
one are you enjoying currently?
So based off of what we've had right now, C has the flat nose. It's incredible. I definitely recommend that nose. I think there's one that has a little bit of extra spice to it for sure, as far as that goes. And I think there is one that has a little bit more depth to it. But am I going to be able to decipher that and still pick the one that I prefer if I was to pretend that Bourbon Banter Evans was doing a barrel pick right now? So now we're going to do lightning round.
And by lightning round, he means he's got to hurry
It's
so he can go
1-1-1.
watch Tennessee
1-1-1.
play baseball.
That's correct.
For the World
And,
Series.
Oh, by the way, this is my new checkerboard shirt with the little smoky dog for
Yeah.
Tennessee. Way to go to get to Omaha and get into the World Series.
It's only because LSU took the year off.
Regardless of what I pick, I think I know what B is. So if I ended up being wrong on B, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed in myself. But again, cigar imports different things. This was a great cigar. Thank you again for the person that submitted that. That's fantastic. I can't wait to now finish these after the video with the cigar. Okay, so based off of the 3-sip process, then going into the 2, and then the lightning round, I would probably say that I think I'm going to lean on A is probably what I would go with. If I was to pick a barrel right now on the spot without even questioning, and I moved it around because it was like this, but I moved the labels with them. 3 has the better nose. I appreciate the nose on 3. I think it's more mild. I think it's great, and the whiskey's really good. B reminds me of a little bit extra spice that comes from BT1. Even though BT1 is the low rye mash bill, none of them are technically high rye, which we all know that we talked about that before too, as far as the mash bill that goes into the process of making BT1. I would probably say I'm gonna lean on A as the one that I think is better at this moment and this present time and this lovely, lovely outside. So, do you want me to tell you what I think they are?
What years are they?
So rate them 1, 2, and 3.
So I would go 1, 2, and 3. That's going to be A is, I think, the better one, with a close second at C. And at this time, I'm going to go with B, being the one that has got a little bit more spice to it at the time. And if I had to guess, I could probably guess what I think the years are. But I would go with
So you go ACB.
ACB.
What do you think?
Years-wise.
What would be your daily sipper if you had a sip that you could have every day?
I would not say no to any one of these. Never have I ever said that Taylor was not going to be good. Have I had different points? We had a L21 versus L22. I think Keenan was there, talking about the Keenan Pour earlier. Everything Taylor has always been really good. It's just a matter of, can you actually find the differences, and is there a difference to you versus somebody else? So not everybody's palate's the same, everybody's palate's different, which is great. That's what keeps the world turning, just keeps the bourbon pouring and makes things really exciting and fun. But at this moment, I'm gonna go with A still as the better one.
What do you think A is?
If I was to guess, based off the nose, and I could be completely wrong, it's amazing what a cigar will do, but I would still guess that A is still 21.
Okay. And you think C is your number 2. So
What I think is B is 22, L22.
So you think A is 21, B is 22,
And I think C is
23.
Which, now side note, if there's a little side note, we did try these earlier, and I've tried them multiple times across different things. But again, at this moment, that's what I think. That doesn't mean I'm right. But again, if we are doing 3 different barrels, because these are all single barrels, and we all know they're from 3 different years, at this moment, if I was like, oh, sweet, BBE is taking home a barrel, let's sign off on, I really think that this one at the moment is the one that I would take and put my name on. That's terrible.
But also, I want to know if he was right. Because I was thinking,
So-
I was thinking
so-
C was after.
A was 2022,
Wow.
C was 2023, so he got that right. And then B was
was
2021.
Well, down goes the winner at this moment with the cigar, 2021 being prior. Now, that was technically small batches, so this is single barrels. So that being said, down goes 2021 for the first time in a long time in some of our videos with BT1, which is Buffalo Trace Mash 1, in the Buffalo Trace world with Taylor products. So that's really cool. I cannot believe that I picked 22 and had B having more spice. Again, this was technically small batches and single bars that we're referring to, so this is actually pretty exciting. But and that being said, it sounds like I'll be trading bottles today.
Negative.
Negative. And seeing what we're gonna do. Again, the water in between
And the flavor profile of the cigar.
and the flavor profile of a cigar could be the difference in the maker. But that nose is so undeniable with 2023. I recommend, if you get a chance, find some of the L23s and the Taylor and tell us what you think in your comments. Leave the comments, like, subscribe, like Charles always says. He's always better at that than I am. And then let us know what you think. Try the same situation, 21, 22, 23, then try 23 and see if you get that same flat nose compared to the other ones. I can tell you right now, there is one that has more spice, there is one that is more flat, and there is one that has more depth. Now, what it is to you is completely different. Everybody has a different palate, which is what we've always said since day one. And at this present moment, cigar and water, I'm all in at A. So I'll leave you guys with this. Unless you guys have anything else in the background, I will always say cheers. What's in your glass?
Go Vols.
Cheers.
Go Vols.